Hello again. Our very first story this afternoon. Government is to release $1,500 each to settle each member of the University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG, or for their book and research allowance. The Minister of Employment and Labour Relations, Haruna Idrisu, announced this at a crunch meeting with leadership of UTAG in Accra. Daniel Opoku's report.
The meeting between government and UTAG spanned for over 5 hours. Government finally agreed through the signing of a memorandum of understanding to settle the book and research allowance. The Minister of Employment and Labour Relations, Haruna Idrisu, assured government commitment to release $1,500 to settle each lecturer.
We've also agreed that the prevailing exchange rate determined by the Bank of Ghana and the Minister of Finance of an average would be used as basis for the computation of the book and research allowance. We also have agreed that on the basis of what was agreeable last year of $1,500 will form the basis for 2013 and 2014, and government remains very committed and determined to the establishment of the National Research Fund.
The president of UTAG, Dr. Samuel Ofori-Bekwai, promised to call off their strike after meeting their entire membership.
Our constituents gave us a mandate to go on strike, so it's only appropriate that whatever decision that we've taken here today should be referred to them. Hopefully by the end of the week, we will come out and announce to the public as our decision so far as the strike is concerned.
Both the minister and UTAG agreed to facilitate the establishment of the National Research Fund.
UTAG negotiating with the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission on your conditions of service, in particular to the book and research allowance, which, as I've indicated, is a desire of government to replace it with the National Research Fund. But subject to its taking off, we shall not engage in actions which will vary your conditions of service. We also assume more strongly that, in principle, UTAG will restore normalcy on our academic campuses and universities.
Earlier, President of the Student Representative Council of the University of Ghana, Joshua Dogbe, expressed worry the prolonged strike could affect international students.
A lot of students have gone for loans, parents have gone for loans to pay school fees, but they are seated at home. It's very worrying.
And following that crunch meeting between the ministry and UTAG, we understand that their strike may be called off or is called off. Our correspondent Daniel Opoku is online now to tell us if indeed it's off. Daniel, is it off or not?
I confidently conclude by saying that the University Association of Ghana, UTAG, has called off this. We have an official document from UTAG which has been signed by Dr. Samuel Ofori-Bekwai, who is the national president of UTAG. So we can currently say that UTAG has called off its strike based on the negotiations and encounter they had with government last night for them to sign an MOU as to when their money to be paid in terms of the book and research allowance. So UTAG has called off its strike.
All right, so Daniel, when are they expected to receive the $1,500 each for the lecturers?
So the Minister of Employment and Labour Relations, to make it clear that government is paying members of UTAG within the fiscal year or by the end of the fiscal year. And the fiscal year ends in November. So clearly, UTAG members are expecting that $1,500 by the end of November before the next budget is read to Parliament. So that's basically what UTAG is expecting government to do the next few months ahead of that.
All right, so good news for students of the university. Did it also indicate when we can return to the classroom?
Yeah, in the case of the University of Ghana, currently the current president, Dr. Langobimi, is expected to petition the Vice Chancellor, Professor NSI, as to whether they have called, indicating that they have called off the strike. So hopefully in the case of the University of Ghana, they are likely to reopen by the close of this week. By Saturday, they are likely to open. And the other campuses are also expected to reopen by the close of this week, because basically the various academic boards have to meet for them to discuss, restructure, and refashion how the timetable will be run for the next academic year.
Daniel, thank you very much. That's our labor correspondent there, Daniel Opoku. The strike is off. UTAG has agreed to government payment, terms of payments that by the end of the fiscal year, hopefully by November, they'll have their money. So if you're a student, tell me how you're feeling. Yesterday, there was a picture on the social media platform that of a football star that he is actually happy that the strike is on and so he can stay home and watch football, but that's all over. So how are you feeling at the moment? How do you think you can cope and also recover the days that has been lost?